Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dockery Docket podcast, the podcast where we don't really like change that much, and we find change a little bit nervous and scary, but we also like to watch people absolutely freak out when different things change. I'm telling you right now, if you are a company listening to this podcast right now, do not change your logo. Please don't do it. So definitely people in the corporate world don't understand that when you take something that is so iconic and completely destroy it, people start to get upset. And we have seen this with a couple of products throughout the years. Aunt Jemima turned into the Pearl Milling Company. Uncle Ben's Ready Rice just turned into Ben's. And they took an African-American man off of some cream of wheat or something. Why would they get rid of that guy? He was fine there. They also took the Native American off the land in the Land O'Lakes butter. But they are keeping this guy? That seems a little bit racist. Is he white guy wearing a sombrero? I don't know. How is this allowed? I don't know. We also know about the Bud Light situation where the company lost billions of dollars due to one can. Only one can caused the whole entire company to lose a lot of stock. I just don't understand why these companies can't just leave things alone. Or they could at least make minor changes to make their company or their product better. And we are experiencing this right now as Cracker Barrel decided to make a new logo. I mean, look at this thing. What the heck is that?
Ugh, it's hideous!
Oh, that's not very nice.
Well, because of this, a lot of people are starting to freak out. And the thing about this logo change, unlike the other ones that I already talked about, this one isn't political. This isn't about DEI or anything like that. They didn't remove the guy on the Cracker Barrel logo because he was a white man or because it symbolized racism or something. And the reason why this company literally ripped the life out of this logo, an iconic logo that shared a story about the company, was because they wanted to be more hip. As it was reported that the company wanted to modernize the brand, attract a younger demographic, and regain relevance by updating stores, menus, and branding. Ooh. All of that is gobbledygook for, we're gonna make it crappy, okay? And you know that young people are not seeing some brown, weird diamond square shaped thing and think, man, I really want to get breakfast from that place. That place looks super good. Cracker Barrel literally made their logo look like the Cheesecake Factory logo. Why would they do this? It looks absolutely terrible. And the question is simple. Has any company actually changed their logo, actually changed their whole entire logo, their whole entire identity, and it actually worked? I mean, write it down in the comments because I'm actually really curious on what company has done this. Because it seems like whenever someone changes something so iconic and so amazing, they turn it to crap. And I mean, if you look at Burger King's new logo, they kind of tweaked it a little bit. They kind of made it more of a retro sort of feel, but you can still see that it's Burger King. If they would have just put a blank square that's blue and just put Burger King on it, people would be like, why would Burger King do that? But instead they put the Burger King inside the hamburger because it's Burger King. It just made sense. This logo doesn't make any sense at all. So when companies make big changes, there seems to be a big uproar, except for the outside of different buildings, as some restaurants are trying to change the outside appearance of their different buildings. Like McDonald's, for example, has been doing this with their restaurants. They haven't gotten rid of the golden arches. Don't worry about that. I think World War III would break out if they ever did that. They're not stupid enough to do that. However, they have changed the outside of their stores to look more, what's the word? Boring. McDonald's and other restaurants used to be very full of life. They used to have different colors. Ronald McDonald used to sit outside and you could take a picture with him, but now all of that's gone. And now it is just boring and gray and dull. Nobody wants to go into a store if it doesn't have good appeal. And it seems like someone in corporate America is saying, oh, we took a poll and it seems like everyone in America likes boring crap, so let's just make everything boring and everything terrible. And that is what I believe is the real problem here. These different logo designs are just boring. They're terrible and they're boring. It doesn't tell a story. It doesn't make the company look good and exciting and appealing. It just looks like a boring, cookie cutter, and safe design. It reminds me of when the Washington football team, also known as the Redskins, changed their name to the Commanders. They had so many different opportunities. They could have done a cool Statue of Liberty thing. They could have put a commander on their helmet. They could have done so many things, but what did they do? They just did a weird block W. That's all they did. They had so many options to choose from when it came to commanders, but they just picked a W. And when you have so many options, like the Commanders had, why not ask the fans? Why didn't Cracker Barrel come out and say, hey fans, we're gonna let you decide what our new logo was going to be? I feel like people would have enjoyed that a lot. They could have had a huge sweepstakes, and you had to come into the restaurant and vote. That would bring more people into the restaurant. They would be excited. Maybe they could draw their own guy or draw their own logo or something like that. This could have made the restaurant more relevant. You didn't need a new logo to make it relevant. You need people to make it relevant. Cracker Barrel could have made this into a funny meme. Oh my goodness, the guy from the Cracker Barrel logo is missing. Where did he go? Well, if you come into our store, maybe you can find him. But instead, they did this. They made it boring and they made it lame. And now people are angry and the company is facing the consequences. As after this happened, the Cracker Barrel stock completely plummeted, and people are now starting to boycott the restaurant just like they did Bud Light. This is going to hurt the business a lot, so now they have to come out and play damage control. As recently, the company came out on Instagram and posted this. They talked about how they have heard the hate and realized how much the customers have absolutely loved their company. Along with that, they mentioned that the logo and decor may be changing, but the restaurant isn't. They still had the peg game, they still had the rocking chairs and the checkers outside, and they also have the store in the front. They also focused on their food, claiming that all of that will stay the same, or it will even get better. But the question is, has the damage already been done? As Cracker Barrel has already bent the knee to the mob and is reverting back to the original logo. But can Cracker Barrel somehow rise from the ashes of this absolute complete media meltdown? The only thing that I like about this story is that it wasn't political. Everyone, left and right, even the Democrats on Twitter, wrote that this was a stupid decision by Cracker Barrel. Democrats and Republicans were holding hands and saying, hey, this logo is terrible. We hate it. And it is also just funny how people freak out about such little things, because in the grand scheme of things, all of this really doesn't matter, because what Cracker Barrel does is what the company does, and that's fine, and we should just accept it and live with it, and maybe we have our opinions and we can voice it and be silly about it. But at the end of the day, who really cares? Cracker Barrel's gonna do what they want, different companies are going to do what they want, but as long as it's not this DEI or this woke crap that we have seen in the past, I'm happy about it. So continue to make your memes, continue to have fun with it, and until next time, like my mom always says, be good, be kind, be loving, goodbye.